Good morning everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. Today I want to share with you the one camera trick that really makes your friends pop out of that screen when you don't know how to do it. So let's get started. Alright guys, welcome to a new episode. Today is a special day. I am in New York City in the Oculus, a very famous spot, and I thought, why don't I share with you one of my favorite things ever to do as a photographer to really get my subject to stand out. Having your subject to stand out is the most important thing you can do ever, and I thought, let's do it together. So I've got Colin, who's just joining me. Colin is a New Yorker, street photographer, all that. He was on the podcast, you might know him. Colin, welcome to the channel. Welcome to YouTube. Everyone on the other side of the screen, you can go here also sometimes. You know that trick we're gonna do or not?
I think so.
You think so? Oh, that's gonna be good. So I'm gonna take photos of Colin, and my goal is going to have him really stand out of the crowd without having to shoot at f1.4 or f2.8. So it's going to be very interesting, and it's gonna require a little bit of a balance skill. Let's call it like that. So if you're ready, let's get started. So here is what's happening. You know, when you're trying to have your subject really stand out, the problem is that there are a bunch of people around you. So it's kind of difficult to make it. But what if you could have everyone blurry except your subject? Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So Colin, right here, I'm using his camera. It's so heavy. It's crazy.
Here. Come on.
It's super heavy, guys. And yeah, have you dropped it already?
Yeah, I dropped it last week. That was the issue with the, broke my 24 to 70 while like the focus is missing.
He
so,
broke his
big
24/7.
bummer. Hold on to your gear, secure it.
So, when you want to have everything blurry around your subject except your subject, obviously you're going to have to go for long exposures. So, here the goal is going to have Colin in a cool position where he's shooting, something like that, and he's going to stay static while I'm going to take a long exposure with the Sony, which is right here, which is filming. So I'm going to start with settings that are 1/6 of a second, f5.6, and ISO 50 or ISO 100, depends on how much light you have. If you do it outside, you might be using the filter just to really be able to drag that shutter down. But we're going to try, so Colin, you ready? We're going to try the first one at 1/5 of a second and see how it looks. Fun fact, we just saved Colin. You guys know what this is for?
I apparently don't.
You guys know what this is for, right?
Whoever answers first in the
Comment.
comments wins.
I'm pretty sure the person that's gonna comment has glasses. Okay, so he dropped his camera and couldn't understand why everything looked blurry. Well, it happens that the optical viewfinder tweak, whatever you want to call it, focal tweak, kind of moved, and it's actually made for people with glasses. So people with glasses can adjust it so they don't have to wear glasses when looking through the camera. And yeah, well, now it's back to normal.
Learn something new every day.
We're gonna go to the Oculus and try to take the same photo but super wide and see how that looks. Alright guys, so here is what we're gonna do, because here it looks really epic. You must have seen photos of that place. Those concave lines are really beautiful. So if we can have some kind of photos, maybe portrait mode that sucks in the viewer up, and have Colin, you're gonna be my model, and after you'll take a photo of me because I really stand out in green.
Yes.
So if you want a tip, guys, maybe you like black, but wear super bright colors because when you take pictures, it's a lot better. And we're gonna have Colin like dead center, and we're gonna shoot portraits. I'm gonna try to give it a nice angle. So let's try it. Colin, why don't you just stand in the middle on that circle over there? Right over there. And I think, look guys, that looks already pretty cool, just like that. And now if we shoot it like that, we've got even more leading lines over here, which is really, really good. So Here is cool, but I think that is even better. But that could be a thumbnail. So I might have Colin like crouch a little bit so we can see his camera better. Just, you know, a little bit of photographer action, you know, something like that. Yeah. All right. If you're ready, we shall try to shoot that one. Let's go. All right, so we just tried a few. As you can see, it doesn't look great yet, but you can see that leading line over there on the ceiling. I think, Colin, it looks cool. What do you think if it hits the camera? Yeah. So if we hit the camera with that line when he's shooting up,
To give the effect that like the camera's shooting out to the middle line.
yeah, I think that's cool. And then we turn it purple or green, fluo, and we add a bunch of light, and then we put a Martian spaceship on top. It's gonna be... I'm just kidding. Okay, let's try again. If you're curious how I'm shooting, I'm literally just like that with the camera. So don't be afraid. Whenever you want to get good shots, don't be afraid to really go for it. Colin, how are you feeling as a model?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling tired though. Gonna get my daily workout.
Because Colin's a street photographer, so usually the model is the street.
Exactly.
Right now, he is the
And now
model.
the model is standing here for like 2 minutes holding this thing straight up.
It's great.
You know?
I think we're gonna try one more where we're gonna get it as a preview. And I wanna show you a little trick in editing after, because you'll see we can make that a lot more dramatic than just with one shot. That's why I actually took maybe 25 shots and we'll see what we can do in post after. But yeah, let's keep shooting. This is fun. And we haven't been kicked out yet.
Shocker.
I'm very, very shocking.
Happens everywhere.
I know. I'm like, okay. Go back here, Colin. Like same position. I'm gonna shoot you, but landscape, okay? All right, so we got a few shots. Colin, what do you think? I think you should have been wearing your red dress. That would have been looking really cool and unique. But it wasn't part of the agreement, so
I guess so. And
Colin was like, I don't know about it. So anyway, guys, I think the interesting part here is, remember, you're trying to have your subject stand out in a way or in another. When you do a long exposure like that, you get the whole crowd to actually get blurred out. And that blur contrasts with the fact that Colin, or your subject, is actually very sharp. And that is a great part. So if you can combine that with also great colors, that is win. So he's in black right now. You gotta fix that, bro. But it's because he's trying to hide in the streets, you know, in the corners to take photos.
it's because I'm a New Yorker, Pierre. Everybody in New York's all black.
No,
Yeah, see? Look,
wait,
all
let
black,
me
all
find,
black,
let me
all
find.
black. It's hard to find someone not in all black.
It's hard to find, it's true. Here's the edited version that you might have seen already previously that I was showing you. What is very interesting here is that you want to actually combine the best of everything into one shot. So let's get to the editing room. Welcome to the editing studio. Actually, before the editing room, I wanted to add something else. I know I speak a lot today. Colin, have you ever shot your long exposures?
No, actually.
No, it's really cool if you can do long exposure from here. You might need a tiny tripod because otherwise they're gonna kick you out. And you can have a friend, and again with a very nice colorful dress in the middle, static, and then everything's gonna be blurry. But we have no one with a cute dress. If you're a girl, if you have a beautiful dress, contact us and we'll go shoot before we leave New York City. Yeah, long exposure looks pretty good right here, right now. Let's go back to the editing room. Oh, you guys are back. I never stop speaking when I'm on location. So, all right, let's get started. Let's jump into our Lightroom. Let's look at some of the photos we took with Colin. Right here, right now, what I can tell is that, well, they're correctly exposed. I shot in manual, and I really wanted to have a consistent look throughout them. When I mean look, it's simply have the same settings and parameters and white balance in order for it to be easier to edit, because our goal is going to bring all those images together into one to really add an effect of having crowd around him. Now, once we go in our develop module, there's something cool you want to do is turn on auto sync, because that way whatever edit you do on one photo is going to be applied on all of them in that series, and that is very practical. You don't have to copy paste your presets all the time. Look at the settings: ISO 50, 16mm, f4, 0.4 seconds, and I did all that handheld on the floor, so I think it's gonna be sharp. If we look, I mean, it's pretty sharp on Colin right now, which is good news, and one of them might be sharper than the other, and I will use it as the master photo or the master pose for Colin. Now, first things first, I'm going to drop my white balance a little bit. Here we go, 2800 Kelvin. I like it. It's a little bit more futuristic, a little bit colder for winter. It's awesome. And now bump up a little bit my exposure. There we go. And next, I'm going to use the Street Collection presets that I have, the one that I created. You remember, I think it was last summer. I have some presets from Japan that I really love, and I think it's going to look great on that image. Yeah, there we go. I might drop a little bit my shadows, bring it back up a little bit, and that's it. That's all I want to do on that image. I think it looks perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is straighten a little bit the image. Alright, now I'm going to select all those images and I'm going to open them open as layers in Photoshop. And here, all the rest of the work is going to happen in Photoshop. If you remember the tutorial I did with the long exposure at night with the train tracks, it's going to be the same philosophy behind that shot. And I think we might be using a different layer blending mode. We'll see how we do it. Just give Photoshop a minute to start. How do you like that little plant? And we've got two other here. Those are not my photos yet. I kind of forgot my prints back in France. That's a bit dumb. That's Chris Burka. Chris Burka's work's awesome. Okay, Photoshop ready. What we're going to do right now is going to select all layers and we want to align them because I might have had a little bit of movement. So if you don't know where a tool is, you just go to help and then you start typing it. Oh, align, auto align layers, perfect, auto geometric distortion. I turn it on because I think it's gonna make things better. Let's see. All right, we're finally done. It took forever. I had to restart it and it went a bit crazy. The scratch discs were full, etc. But I think we got the good. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. We're good. So Colin is well aligned on all the shots, as you can see. Now I'm gonna select one of those shots to be the master one. So remember, Photoshop's working with layers. All those layers are being put on top of each other. I will recrop the photo after. But what is interesting here is to select the one where he is the sharpest. So I'm just gonna take a look quickly like that. And whichever is the one where he is the sharpest is going to be the one I'm going to keep at the bottom. All right, yeah, I like that layer to be my master one because he's really sharp on that one. So what I'm going to do now is try to blend the other layers in. So the way it works is you can blend the layers differently into Photoshop. So here I'm going to grab that layer and try through the different modes of blending if there is one that keeps both the person on the right and on the left. So maybe darker colors could work. Darken could work also, so it's darken or darker colors. So we use the darken blending mode, which look cool, but if you can see, I think we're getting too much dark on Colin and we have too much dark on the line below. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group all those layers together. So if you press Command G up, it creates a group. And that group, I'm going to add a safe zone to it. So what I'm going to do is add a layer mask to that whole group and say that I never want to paint on Colin right here. You see? All right, so if you look here, this is how it looks. This is our group one with its own layer mask. Now, whenever I'm adding stuff onto that image, you can see that Colin is not changing. This is the Colin from the bottom layer. So I actually selected all those layers at once and did the darken now, because I think it's a bit faster. Now I'm gonna check which one are a bit distracting. That red person right here is no, it's not working for me. So I'm gonna remove that layer. All right. I thought that was a little bit too much, so I might add a little bit more here. So I think the yellow ones are a little bit distracting, and the guy in black, yeah, the yellow one doesn't work. I don't know why. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select those two, and I'm going to individually create a layer mask on those, and I'm going to paint on the areas that I don't want. So for example, on the yellow part with that guy. So here I'm gonna remove the yellow guy, boom, like that, remove the shoes. So there we go, we've got it. So let's see the before after with and without the crowd. So without and with the crowd, with the crowd, without. I think it looks kind of cooler. Now what you can see is on the floor, we have some weird artifact going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab that layer mask again, and I'm gonna try to paint out that part so that it doesn't look too weird. So this is before, this is after. It's really up to you if you like it or not. I kind of like it. It creates a V of people all around Colin. Now, in theory, as I mentioned before, I would prefer if they were not all wearing black, but I mean, you can't do much about that, can you? So now we're just recropping the image a little bit. Hey, here we go. This is the final result. Now, if I save it, it's gonna go back into my Lightroom. If I want to make more changes to it, I totally can do so, but I'm kind of happy with it. I might just tweak a little bit more my exposure if I want to bump it up a little bit, or like increase the highlights. There we go. And what I can do now is export it for Instagram. There we go. Now I'm gonna send it back to my phone, and I'm gonna go back outside, post it on Instagram and in the Insta stories. So let's get back there. All right guys, done with the editing part. So obviously what is really cool with that effect is you can do it everywhere. And I was doing it in Bangkok, in the middle of the street in Chinatown. Looks pretty epic. I had Trina in the middle of the crowd with everyone passing by. I love those shots. I did it in Shibuya, also in Tokyo. You should try in your street photography. Whenever you have a vendor that's a bit static, that could be a good one, you know.
Test it out tonight.
Yeah, you should test it out tonight. And guys, if you're doing it in full daytime, you might need an ND filter or not. But also here, I was shooting at 0.4, 0.5 seconds, ISO as low as possible, so ISO 50 and f8, f10. So really depends. I don't think we have the best shot possible with us in it, simply because I don't think our outfit is the best for that particular shot, but the concept is really something you can exploit. If you have like nicer fitting clothing, because they're a bit bulky, that can work out, but then you get into the fashion side of things. But if you want a cool shot, if you really want to have your subject stand out, this is a great way. All right, with that being said, we are going to go, where are we going? Chinatown? Oh yeah, Chinatown, more for shooting, guys. That's gonna be for another episode. And I wanna show you also how Colin shoots in another episode. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the SUB button, ring the notification bell. It's gonna make an amazing noise, and we will see you in the next episode. I forgot, check out Colin on Instagram. I already dropped his Instagram, but go say hi, give him some love, say hi, and yeah, that's it. We've got nothing to do, we're gonna eat dumplings. Bye. Ciao. Actually, I want to say something. We hit 50K. What the heck, guys? Amazing. Thank you so much. Got 50,000 faces like you right now. Hi. All right. Anyway, I'm going crazy. Bye.